Thank you for the bits, but I disavow such misogynistic commentary. How many arses has this bitch got in her? Jesus Christ. She's whatever race she needs to be at a given moment for maximum oppression points. How pathetic is this, man? Please, please come and interact with me so I can hang out with you instead. Having her music shouted out by like a pretty famous pop star to arguing with me. Imagine that, man. Someone linked me this earlier.
I am white passing enough to where I am literally not oppressed. However, I am still seen as Latina. I am still fetishized and objectified because of that, because of the shape of my body. Never have I been oppressed, ever. I'm just telling you what it is. I'm giving a candid recalling.
Okay, look. I have covered a lot of Lav stuff, okay? I've got to say, right? I have literally never heard or seen any commentary or anything about this Latina. This is new. This is a brand new development for me. This is a brand new development for me.
Of how I felt. I don't want to be pitied, even. What a disgusting thing to say to a biracial person. Especially, I think you're white, so this feels like a microaggression. My experience as someone, even though I'm white passing, is still of my ethnic background. So this is the issue. When you erase my ethnic background because I look white to you, you're saying that the only thing that makes a person of color, or the only thing that makes a Mexican is oppression. No. That is weird to say. Think of it this way. I am an anomaly in my group because I am mixed. Thankfully, fortunately for me, I get to pass as white, and because of that, am not the target of racial attacks. Obviously, you know, I have been kind of before. People have called me a wetback. People have called me a fucking... People have made fun of me, saying that I should be a cleaning lady, whatever the fuck. You know, normal stuff that any sort of brown person has to deal with. You don't see how anyone of any race could look at me and think that I'm a minority. My skin is literally, like, light brown. I have green eyes. I have black hair, my skin is light brown.
This kind of retardation is
the way that I dress, the way that I do my makeup is also culturally significant. The way that I talk, the way that I move, the way that my body is shaped. You get to see this portion of me because I'm well-spoken, because, like, I am white.
Okay. That is a new development as far as I'm concerned. Anyway. What's this?
They weren't called UWT back for being Mexican, they were talking about all of the cum.
Thank you for the bits, but I disavow such misogynistic commentary. She's still white. Her skin is white. I'm half black and my skin is white, so I'm white. Therefore, I'm never discriminated against because of the colour of my skin. Is this her? Is this her? But here she's saying she's half black. But wait, she was saying she was Latino then, and now she's saying here she's half black. Like everything else, she's got no consistent or coherent story on anything, including her own race. How many arses has this fucking bitch got in her? Jesus Christ. Yeah, I saw this. What's this? And then we got this. I was adopted. I don't know who or what I was besides being Jewish and some sort of brown. I was never raised white. Well, how does she know what? Has she done a 23andMe or something? Has she done a 23andMe? How does she know all this? I'm very confused what her race actually is. I don't really care what her race is, honestly. But the fact she's trying to claim to be Latina, and then in other things she's saying, actually, I'm half black. It doesn't make any sense. Jesus Christ. Everyone, you have got the most insane repository of information. Oh, is this from a TikTok or something? 15.7% Ashkenazi Jew. East Asian and Indigenous American. Indigenous American, 23%. Western Asian and North African, 2.6. Sub-Saharan African, 0.9. That is the literal melting pot. The literal melting pot.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Depends on the day. I'm sure at some point she's been pumped full of enough black DNA to be considered biracial.
Thanks for the 420, but I disavow such comments. Thank you, though. Please keep sending in the donations so I can disavow them, because that will show my true my pro-woman, my pro-feminism sentiments. Anyway, very weird. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, what is she trying to do here? She's trying to like claim some sort of oppression points for being Latino, but then in other things she's saying I'm half black, and then there's a 23andMe which gives a different story altogether. What was it? 0.9% sub-Saharan African, 2.6% the other part of Africa. Very weird. Very, very weird. I don't know if I can show this because it looks like it's a picture of her as a baby. None of you really understand the Lana Del Rey trailer park lifestyle. It's in my veins. And it's a picture of her at a trailer park. In a trailer park or something, I guess. She's doing a Hasan. Her race is whatever it needs to be. She's whatever race she needs to be at a given moment for maximum oppression points. Jesus, man. Anyway, did you see this with Zonya? So Gammy said, this woman is like the new Lav. I love it. And Lav replied saying, male misogyny moment. Curious. Curious. What do you mean by that? So obviously, Gammy's a trans woman, and what Lav is referencing is it's this kind of this idea that
okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
She's like the Exodia of races, only that every part of her body is another race.
Thank you for the 420. It's this idea that comes out of this radical feminism, the anti-trans radical feminism stuff, that basically talks about how you know, trans women are socialized as men and therefore inhabit the traits of men, because they tend to believe that men have got essential traits about them that are unchanging. So they think that even if someone becomes like a trans woman, they can't escape the essential traits that are put upon them by being born a man, essentially. So that's what that is referencing. But yeah, I've got some other things here, but they're a bit out of order. Oh, this was another thing she said as well. A 40-year-old man calls a 24-year-old woman a washed-up bitter porn star. A 40-year-old man who wears a wig and calls himself a girl calls a 24-year-old woman a washed-up bitter porn star. Choose your fighter. Still mad. Still mad. Still mad. But yeah, I mean, she is like gone from kind of Radfem kind of memes and stuff like that to just explicit like transphobic stuff, you know? That's referencing Zonya, yeah. That's referencing Zonya. I mean, it's quite obvious what's going on with her, right? She's eaten away any goodwill. She's eaten away any goodwill that she's got with like certain communities that she's associated with. So now she's like desperately hunting for another community to take her in. You know, because as much as she like likes to call other people things, she is a leech. She's leeched on to like the debate bro community, like she did before with TikTok and stuff, right? She's leeched from that community as much as she can, sucked all the blood that she can out of it. She's a parasite, yeah. So now she's like trying to find the next community.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
Why are we giving this retard any attention? It's the only thing she is craving.
Thanks for the 420. The reason I'm doing it is because it makes me money, okay? It makes me money. Number one, my community likes it when I shit on women. Number two, people fucking despise Lav. That's a deadly combination. That's a deadly combination. So yeah, she's obviously still very angry about the little interaction we had the other day. Anyway, she has gone full on, you know. So Zonya replied and said, washed up bit of porn star moment. And then she quote tweeted it and said, literally another male misogyny moment. Le Mafau. You guys really can't help yourselves, can you? Which, you know, quite clear what's going on, isn't it?
Farmer Chud, out to milk the prized cow.
Exactly. Thank you, Jeffrey, for the bits. I've got this this thing. It's a bit out of order, though, so I'm trying to find the correct order. I rest my case. Look what the porn industry has done to her mind. Look what the porn industry has done to theirs. And then a picture of Zonya. L, Zonya mogs you. Porn brain seethe. L, penis, bad wig. Autogynephile and seethe. Like, it is, like, this is very obvious what she's doing. You know, people might be like, oh, she's being transphobic. What is actually happening here, okay, is she is putting out the feelers because she wants to get involved with a community that she thinks is going to, like, take her in and be better for her. This is what she does. She's like a parasite hopping from community to community to community. Do you know how I know this, by the way? It's because of this tweet. It's because of this tweet. Look at how pathetic this is. Radfems, please interact so I can find better community. I thought going into the debate sphere in the most toxic male part of the internet was a good idea. How fucking pathetic is this, man? Please, please come and interact with me so I can hang out with you instead. That's why she's being so explicitly transphobic, right? You might think, oh, she's being trans. No, she's doing it because it's a pathetic attempt to try and ingratiate herself with another community. That's exactly what's going on here. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. Invader V on steroids. Well, the thing is, you know, she's fallen off massively. Like, remember, this is someone who, you know, released a pop record and it was, you know, quite well received to the point where Billie Eilish was shouting her out, you know? So she's gone from having her music shouted out by like a pretty famous pop star to arguing with me. Imagine that, man. Imagine that. God, what a tragic fucking journey for her. Jesus. To arguing with me from my chat. Just some British dude sat in his bedsit talking about drama on the internet for money. Pretty tragic if you ask me. That's why it's so funny when she tries to attack me and it's like, well, you're the person arguing with me when you had this fucking, you know, apparently flourishing pop career that existed. I'm just a dude sat in his bedsit. Anyway, I'll link the thing. I don't want to go through like all of the threads. But there's another interesting little tidbit that I wanted to share with you as well. And it's this kind of idea, I guess. Well, actually, there's two things I want to show you further. So, Lav was talking all this shit on Gammy, talking all this shit on Zonya, and then did the classic block. She gets transferred with my friend, so I clap back. Then we get into a back and forth of insults, and she blocks me. Guess she can dish it out, but she can't take it. Which is definitionally the opposite of her career as a porn star. Jesus, Sonia. Ooh! Damn. The thing is, from what I understand about Zonya, I don't think the transphobia stuff really phases Zonya that much. I don't think she really cares. But obviously, we all know Lav has got a very deep-seated, deep-rooted issue with the porn stuff she's done. Anyway, then there was this. Believe it or not, I'm not transphobic, I'm manphobic. If you're someone who's lived most of your life feminine or presented as a woman, I believe we have a lot in common, and no longer is it your identity tying you to womanhood or adjacent to it, it's your actual lived experience. Unfortunately, a lot of this is ruined with self-ID. When any man in their 30s, after being socialist as a man their whole lives, call themselves women, I'm dumbfounded. Especially when these men are misogynistic, racist, and abusive. I'm sorry, but you do not get my empathy. At that point, you could identify as a fruit fly, and it would be just as comprehensible. The thing is, this is disingenuous, because I don't think that Zonya even does the self-ID thing. I don't think Zonya is like a self... I think Zonya is against the concept of self-ID. You know, so I think that, and Gammy, I believe, is the same as well. So if she wants to make this point, you know, I don't have a problem with a criticism of self-ID, but it's kind of weird targets to choose, because Gammy and Zonya, I'd believe, are against the concept of self-ID, you know, and have gone through various protocols or whatever to get to where they are now. But yeah. Also, this is an interesting little tidbit to kind of add on to this. So obviously the tweets are starting to be deleted now. Classic Lav, tweet out a bunch of bullshit and then delete the evidence after. So you can see here she started to delete some of the tweets. But then this is interesting. So these are DMs between Rose Malay and Zonya. But apparently, Lav is like trying to drive a wedge. It's like she's trying to start a trans civil war. It's like she's trying to start some sort of trans civil war or something, because she's trying to drive a wedge between Rose and Zonya from the looks of it here. Zonya has you on to laugh at you, Rose. Zonya doesn't respect you and laughs at you. It was palpable when we were all on together. They're not your friend. You don't have to go to bat for this loser. Very weird. Again, you know, so now Lav's gone from arguing with me and on average like 500 via Andy, right? She's gone from that to like further down the slide, and now she's trying to sow division between like trans Twitter people who sometimes make content. I don't know. God. What is going on? That's mental. Falling down the tree, hitting every branch on the way. True. I've never gotten that impression from you at all, so I don't know why she's saying this. I feel like if that were true, you'd have told me that you'd have had me on a lot more than you actually do. You've always been nice to me. Yeah, next up, next target, no comment chick. Someone tell Lav about no comment chick. I'm sure that no comment chick has made some content about her. Next target. But yeah, I just think this is, to me, it seems quite clear that she's kind of burnt through any sort of goodwill she had with the community she was ingratiated with. And she's desperately cloying, trying to find some other group to latch onto. So yeah, there we go.
Welcome to Chud Nation.
An anonymous user gifted a tier 1 sub to Chud Logic.
Thank you for the gifted sub. Appreciate it. Let's not bring back Rose Malay. Look, I don't have a problem with Rose, okay? Rose is annoying, and obviously we've had some very fractious conversations in the past, I would say. But the point here isn't anything to do with Rose per se. It's more so the fact that, like, why is she so desperate to, like, try and drive some sort of wedge between Rose and Zonya? It's just a really weird thing to do. I don't know, man. Listen. This is, how long have I been talking about this? Is it 5 minutes or longer? Oh, there's another. Has anyone got the tweet? She used I don't know if I can say it because it's Twitch, but she called someone a the teasler that sounds like spoon. She called someone a teaser that sounds like spoon. You know the one I mean, right? Oh, did I just show it? Oh, okay. I just showed it. Fair enough. You've seen it then.
Welcome to Chud Nation.
You've seen it already. Hey, thank you for the Prime sub. Appreciate it. Okay, stop typing it. Listen. Listen, we've all know what it is, okay?